Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at the LBJ School. We are pleased and delighted to have Professor Victoria Rodriguez with us to talk a little bit about the LBJ PhD program. Feel free to mute yourself until you have a question. That will really decrease some of the feedback and blurriness that we hear. And we will have an opportunity for questions and towards the end, but Professor Rodriguez will likely want to hear from you guys and what your questions are about your specific application process. So again, thank you so much for being with us, Victoria, and take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. Like Laura said, my name is Victoria Rodriguez. I'm a professor here at the LBJ School. I've been here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then a little bit about the program, and then more than anything, what I want to do is answer whatever questions you might have. So I have been at the LBJ School for a very long time now, 27 years to be precise. I have had a wonderful career here at the LBJ School, but also at the university. So I started as a professor here at the LBJ School. The areas that I work on are primarily, I'm a Mexico specialist, so I teach courses related to Mexico, to Latin America. I'm a political scientist by training, so a lot of what I do has to do with politics and of course policy making. I have been very fortunate in my career to ride the crest of the wave of the process of political change and democratization in Latin America and in Mexico in particular. Which led me to the second big topic that I teach and that I work on, which is women in politics. So that is one of the main courses I teach here at the LBJ School for our master's program. And the other big course that I teach is, of course, in the PhD program. It's the first introductory core course, which is the theory and philosophy of public policy that all of you will be taking when hopefully you come and join us. So I know the LBJ School pretty well, both as a professor, as a researcher, but also the PhD in particular, because I was director of the program for 4 years, director / graduate advisor. So I know the program inside out, and I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you may have about the program. Before I jump into talking about the program, and so it doesn't seem like I'm just going to talk about myself, I also want to tell you that for 12 years I was in the central administration of the university. I was vice provost, and then I was dean of graduate studies for 10 years. Which is, a big position in the central administration of the university. So as graduate dean, I got to oversee all the graduate programs of the university, and because you will be coming to research one major comprehensive university, we have pretty much all the fields you can imagine. So as graduate dean, I learned a little bit about fine arts and about electrical engineering and about architecture and about history, and so I have a pretty good sense of what the university has to offer. I wanted to emphasize this because one of the strengths of our PhD program is precisely that it lends itself to be totally multidisciplinary. I'll talk a little bit about the core curriculum of the PhD program in a minute, but it's important that you know about the depth and breadth of this fabulous university, because it means you will be taking classes in other departments and in other schools. And in fact, we will encourage you to do so because it's the best way of rounding up your doctoral education, but also of exploring research possibilities that may not be available to you here at the LBJ School. So I'll talk now a little bit about the PhD program. So we have, as you probably have already seen, we have a program that is not only very flexible, but also it's a program that you can advance through pretty rapidly. And we have people that have completed the PhD program without really sweating major bullets in 4 years. So our program consists really of only 4 core courses. You take the 2 in your first semester. You'll take the Theory and Philosophy of Public Policy 1, Theory 2 in the spring semester. So your first year is heavy on the theory. They're terrific courses, and I say this false modesty aside, but because I teach the first one, but they really are very solid, very nice foundational courses for you to really start digging into your doctoral education and making that transition from a master's to a PhD student. In the first year also, you will take your first methods course in the spring semester, which means, kind of that for the rest of your courses, you're pretty much open to complete them however, with whatever courses you wish. Most of our PhD students in that first year tend to go heavy on the methods. Our PhD program, as is the case with other PhD programs in public policy, is heavy on the quantitative side, which means you're going to have to really dig into your methods. We offer, that first semester, in addition to the theory course, you will have, like I say, a methods class, and then a third course, which will be one of your choosing. Most of our students tend to do the theory, a statistics course, and then a qualitative research methods course, which really helps round up, the heavy emphasis on quantitative training that we have here. The second semester, you'll take, like I say, the theory 2, then your first required methods course in the PhD program, and invariably, either another methods course, and there are some. For example, there's a professor in the sociology department that a lot of our doctoral students take his class. And then the third will be either a topical seminar related to your policy area of interest, or, like I say, whatever. Then in your second year, in the fall semester, you will take your last required core course, which is it's called Research Design. And after that, you have no more required core courses. A full-time student in a doctoral program here at UT has to have 9 hours per semester, which means 3 courses. So you can see that with only 4 required core courses in our program, it does leave you a lot of flexibility, like I say, to take topical seminars related to your research, or that are in your area of interest, pretty much all around the university. Of course, here at the LBJ School, we also offer a lot of topical seminars. So that's in terms of your classes. Once you're done with the core courses, the next step in terms of the completion of requirements for the PhD program are your comprehensive examinations. And we used to have them. If you look at some of the documents we have on our website, you'll be happy to know that just last week we had faculty meeting of the governing body of the PhD program, and decided to change the timing of the comprehensives. If you'll see in the handbook that's on the website, you will see that it'll say that that the comprehensive exams will be taken at the end of the first year. We changed that so that now it will be only the theory exam, which will be at the end of the first year in August. And then the following December, after you completed your last core course in methods, you will have your methods exam in January. And then the third part of your comprehensive exams will be at the end of the summer of your second year, which is writing a qualifying paper. So the qualifying examination process consists of those 3 exams that now are staggered every 6 months, which logistically will make it much better for the students. So that's in terms of the program and the core requirements. I also wanted to emphasize a couple of other things that are very good about our program. In my view, is that all of the PhD students that we admit into our program, we admit them because their interests are aligned with one or more faculty members here. So when we go through the admissions process, we usually will involve many of our faculty to circulate your applications and say, what do you think of this applicant, and would you be prepared to work with him or her if she comes to the program. That is really important in a PhD program because in previous years when we didn't do such a good job with this, we often ended up with some superb students that were admitted to the program, but that would come here, kind of working on areas that we really didn't have the faculty for them to work with. So it was a wasted talent, because it really is imperative to form that close bond and that close alliance with a faculty member. So we don't do that anymore. If somebody is interested in a topic area that we don't have the faculty, we will just explain to the applicant that it wouldn't be in his or her best interest to come here. If you do come, you come, kind of with the full support of one or more faculty members that work in your area. There are a cluster of us that are very engaged with the PhD program. So even if we're not, kind of mentoring directly or supervising directly a doctoral students, we still are very involved in the program. And I'm one of them because I teach, not only, like I say, because I was graduate advisor for many years. I just stepped down a couple of years ago. But also because I teach the first core course, the first theory course, I get to know the entering cohort pretty well. And because I know the school and the campus and the community, like I say, I tend to be very engaged. There are many other faculty members that are like me that stay very close to the individual students when you come. So that is in terms of the relationship with the faculty. This relationship with the faculty is also very important because when we make an offer of admission to our doctoral students, they come with a financial package to support them in their doctoral education. And this financial package will usually consist of 4 years of support. These 4 years are typically divvied up into 2 years of fellowship of a full ride, which you can use whenever you want to. Most of our students use it in the first year when they're starting the program and they want to, just dive straight in and dedicate themselves only to their doctoral studies. And then save their second fellowship year for their final year when they're writing the dissertation. and they don't want to be encumbered again by work that will detract from their research and the dissertation. The other 2 years of the financial package that we offer our MIDs are in the form of either a teaching assistantship here at the LBJ school, or as a graduate research assistant with faculty that, as I said, kind of are working in your same area of interest. So they go hand in hand, kind of, it's not only the intellectual and academic mentoring with the faculty, but also because you get engaged in their research projects. They'll hire you as graduate assistants, so you're working together. This has resulted in some wonderful collaborations of our PhD students and the faculty, and has resulted also in many joint publications, which, for those of you considering academic careers, it's in the way the academy is developing, you really need to get an early start. This also leads me to talk about another of what I consider the strengths of our program, and that is the versatility that a PhD in public policy offers. It's very different from a PhD in a mainstream academic discipline. If you're getting a PhD in history, you're going to be a historian, and in a lot of likelihood, you're going to be a professor of history. If you're getting a PhD in English, in all likelihood, you're going to be a professor of English. If you get a PhD in public policy, it's as versatile as it comes. Kind of, there are so many career opportunities for you. We have some of our students that are indeed academics and are at our nice universities. One of our earlier graduates is a full professor at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Another one is at the University of Utah. I mean, we have PhD graduates all over the academy. Some of our other students have chosen to go the think tank and research route. So we have, our graduates. We have one of them that has been at the Brookings Institution for a long time. Kind of, they're in the big think tanks all around the country and in other countries in the world. And then there are those that want to go the policy analyst route. And do it in all kinds of settings, kind of in governmental positions. One of our graduates is in the World Bank. I mean, we have our graduates really going in every direction. I should also say, kind of, we attract some students from all parts of the world, and that is wonderful, because not only because of the multicultural richness that they bring to the program, but also because many of them return to their home countries after they graduate, and they're taking the LBJ school and the Texas flag with them to their respective countries. We have a lot of students that come from South America. We have, from Latin America in general. We have students from Europe, from India, from China, and it really adds a wonderful diversity to our program. So it really is, it's a vibrant community. Our PhD students are a really closely knit group. The LBJ school, for that matter, is a very closely knit community because we're small. The PhD program at any time has approximately 30 students at all levels, from those that are just starting to those that have taken longer than they should and are writing their dissertations. Some of them are away doing field work. Some of them, take graduate assistant positions with other faculty across campus. So it really does lend itself, like I say, to a very multidisciplinary, multicultural approach. I should also mention while I'm talking about that is that if you come here, kind of the LBJ school, like I say, it's a really neat place. We did a major remodel of the school just a few years ago, so it really has, it's a very state of the art, nice teaching environment. We have an area in the second floor that is where all the PhD carrels are. So all of our entering students will get a cubicle that will be their study space, and so you get to interact a lot with your fellow PhD students there. The university, like I say, it's a fantastic place. We have wonderful museums, film. If you're into sports, there's pretty much every sport you can imagine. For those of you that follow college football, we're thrilled because the Longhorns are doing really well this season. But also, I want to emphasize coming to Austin, is wonderful. Austin is a super cool place. I mean, the music scene, the film scene, kind of. I always think of Austin as a dream city for young people, especially for young smart people like all of you, because it's Austin is the hub, as you know, not only of the seat of state government, but also kind of a very vibrant IT sector. It's the home of Dell Computers, is the home of a number of electronics and computer firms. It's also, just a hub of innovation. A lot of our students in the sciences end up, kind of working in industry here. And many of you, in fact, we have PhDs in public policy that are also working in industry. So like I said, kind of, you would be coming to a great school, to a great university, to a great city, and we will look after you and we will treat you well. And so on that happy note, I'm going to stop to invite you to ask whatever questions you may have. I'm sure you'll want to ask questions about your application and well, whatever you want to ask, I'm here to try and answer. Thank you. So I think you would have to turn on your audio so I could hear you.
So it looks like Kate has asked, I have nearly 20 years in public policy. Do you have many older students?
Yes, we do. We have, older is a relative term. But yes, we have students that range, kind of that have gone straight from college to a master's to our PhD program, and people that are, kind of in their 50s that have had, great careers and want to complete a PhD because either they want to teach or they want to hone their research skills or they want to move on to something else. So yes, kind of, we actually, one of the things that we pride ourselves at the LBJ School, both in our PhD program, but also in our master's programs, is that, the richness of experience that you all bring from your work and from your time in the world of public policy just makes everybody's education that much richer. So yes, it's we have it all. Right now we have two that I can think of that are in their 50s. Any others?
Hi, this is Lewis. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Lewis.
Oh, hi. I have an idea, because concerning I guess, an interdisciplinary approach to the PhD program
Yeah.
that would involve pretty extensive to other schools. What would be the best way to, I guess, describe what my thought or my idea of, I guess, what would ultimately be the PhD dissertation? What would be the best way to, I guess, submit my idea to see even if it would be feasible within the program?
Yeah. What I would suggest is that are you going to apply this year?
I'm sorry, I'm on my cell phone and it broke up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, what I was going to say is when you apply to our program, whether it's this year or whenever, you should make that a part of your application because we're going to ask you to write, kind of what your research plans and what your interests are. Um, I would also advise you, Louis, that you contact our graduate advisor. That's Professor Chandler Stoll. But by email is probably the easiest way. And then tell him briefly what you're thinking, what you want to do, and then you can start a conversation with him, and he will put you in touch with other faculty that work in areas similar to yours, and then you can take the conversation from there.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Other questions?
It looks like another question from Kate. It says, are PhD students able to work while doing the degree?
Well, like I say, there's the scholarly academic work as a teaching assistant or as a research assistant. But normally, kind of work outside of that, we really discourage it. I mean, everybody can do whatever they want, of course, but in our experience, what we have had is that people who work, who have a full-time job or who work outside of the PhD program, usually take longer to finish. They're distracted by their obligations at work, that they have to fulfill that compete with their obligations of attending class and preparing for class, writing papers. So there are so many hours in the day only. We have students that have families on top of that. So there are just a lot of competing obligations. But every individual is different. So if someone find themselves in that situation, kind of like I say, we would kind of prefer that you didn't, so that you could move more swiftly through the program. But it's like I say, it's totally an individual decision. Other questions that you might have?
Hi, I'm Jessie, and I've got a quick question.
Yes.
I finish up my master's degree in December.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to, I can upload the unofficial transcript as of today. Do I
Mm-hmm.
need to upload an updated version of that after graduation, even though it's past the official deadline?
Yeah, it probably would be advisable that you do so, but that is something that you should check with the folks handling the admissions here in the LBJ school, because it's it might be something that the admissions committee might want to look at. But I won't worry too much about that because kind of all you would have to do is like you saw say switch one transcript for another, so it wouldn't it's not a big deal.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from someone else who said, I understand writing a full dissertation is a requirement during the program. Can that be replaced with 3 shorter articles or academic papers?
Yes, the format of the dissertation is totally up to the student and his or her dissertation committee. We see both models all the time. Kind of some faculty and some students prefer the more traditional book type dissertation, where it's kind of it flows and reads more like the book. But the 3 article dissertation has become also very popular, and a lot of our students are doing that. The only thing that we urge you to do, if you go the 3 article route, is that you still have kind of a solid introduction and then a conclusion, kind of the 2 bookends that will tie the 3 papers together. Rather than 3 just individual standing papers, so that there's a thread to the argument, to the reason why you choose to write those 3 particular papers. But yes, either way you go is, like I say, totally up to the individual student and his or her committee.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Anything else?
I want to honor everyone's time commitment today. So thank you so much, Professor Rodriguez, for joining us and sharing all there is to know about the PhD program. If anyone has any questions about the actual application process, or maybe some more questions about the transcripts, don't hesitate to reach out to those of us here in the Office of Student Affairs. The best email address to use would be lbjadmit@austin.utexas.edu, and we'll be happy to help you through the process. We look forward to seeing all of your applications soon, and we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Yeah. I would also